Meanwhile, the network of journalists on the indigenous issues has called on the federal government to urgently address the growing impact of climate change on Abuja regional inhabitants. At a workshop in Lagos State, the group noted that 50 years after Abuja was created, indigenous communities remain largely excluded from the city's development. Zaid Aribisala reports.
Journalists from various media organizations gathered for this workshop organized by the Network of Journalists on Indigenous Issues. 50 years after Abuja, climate change and livelihoods of Abuja regional inhabitants focused on the intersection of environmental challenges and long-standing socio-economic marginalization. Discussions centered on how decades of exclusion have been worsened by climate change and the role of the media in amplifying indigenous voices and promoting accountability.
We are looking at the impact on the First Nation, the original Abuja inhabitants, who are about 2.5 million people. Yes, Abuja is a beautiful place, sprawling buildings, skyscrapers. What has happened to the forest of these indigenous people? What has happened to their spirituality? What has happened to their land and the resources they are in?
Speakers pointed out that the indigenous groups in the nation's capital continue to experience displacement, loss of livelihoods, and limited access to basic services.
You see people of Gbagi people, Koro people, Guanadara people, Nupe people. A visit to all these places, Rubochi, Imbuari, local government, Pai. When you take a visit, you go to all these places, you will see a picture of poverty written all over them, impoverishment.
They urged the federal government to implement inclusive policies and align with relevant international frameworks to safeguard vulnerable communities.
In terms of preservation of their heritage, of their values, of their culture, and of their timeless tradition. So, in as much as we have 50 years of celebration, people are meeting in conferences, in hotels and all that, nobody is thinking about representation of indigenous people. Nobody is talking about their displacement. Nobody is talking about the fact that they are stateless. That if an indigenous of Abuja and you are given a form to fill, state of origin, you cannot put Abuja there because Abuja is not a state. Abuja indigenous people also don't have the right to vote for a governor because there is no governor of Abuja. I would not actually vote for House of Representatives. There is no House of Representatives in Abuja. So the persecution is political, is economic, is cultural, and is spiritual.
The Federal Capital Territory was created in 1976 and eventually replaced Lagos State as Nigeria's capital. Sahid Aribisala, TVC News, Lagos.